Millions of used tires end up at landfills in Nigeria each year, and because they are non-biodegradable, they pose a threat to the environment when they pile up. But Ifedolapo Runsewe, through her startup, is now literally converting the environmental problem into a money-making enterprise by creating essential products out of it.
When you've experienced how waste can be a menace, how waste can disturb and distort the environment, then you begin to think, how can this be properly managed? How can this be put to use?
This factory complex was her answer to those questions. Free Recycle Limited began operations in 2020 by first collecting discarded used tires from the streets and landfills.
The collection infrastructure didn't necessarily exist, especially in our community where we are in Oyo State. So we had to develop our own infrastructure from scratch, get our own collectors, our aggregators, possible logistic partners as well. So we started with that gradually in late 2019, then 2020. Then by the time our equipment came in, towards the end of 2020, we were able to commence our operations.
Today, Free Recycle processes around 3,000 used tires daily. They are put through a comprehensive recycling process where the metals are removed, the tires are then chopped into beads and crushed into crumbs before they are finally processed into different products.
So I think what makes us stand out and what makes us unique is how we actually process the tires. You're either recycling tires or you're upcycling them. In our own case, we're recycling the tires. And what even makes it more interesting is we operate a zero waste system in which all the parts of the tires are actually being recycled, from the rubber to the steel to the fiber. We have different applications for every material in the tire. Also, very minimal emissions as well from our recycling process.
The finished products from the recycling process includes paving bricks, floor tiles, flip-flops, sandals and more, all of them made from discarded used tire waste.
All these tires would just have ended up in dump sites, probably burning or serve as a breeding space for mosquitoes. But this is not being allowed because we are providing these solutions and getting in as much tires as we can to recycle this and solve this problem, and also provide a solution to the environment at large.
As at today, we currently employ over 150 full-time staff, as well as over 250 across our value chain, from collectors, aggregators, logistic partners, distributors of our finished product. So imagine having multiple crushing sites where we can process tires all around the country. The numbers would definitely go up. You have as much as 20 people or more in each of those sites where you're collecting these tires, and then where you are then processing these tires to a semi-finished state as well. Additional jobs will be created.
Since it began operations in late 2020, Free Recycle has processed and recycled over 300,000 used tires. If things continued at this rate and more sites are opened, used tire environmental waste will soon be a thing of the past in Nigeria. Deji Bademasi, CGTN, Ibadan, Nigeria.